This Saturday, October 14, is a really important day. We're having a referendum on whether or not to create an Indigenous voice to Parliament. A referendum is when we vote on whether to change the Constitution or not. The proposal before Australians is the creation of an Indigenous voice to Parliament so that a new body can be set up to ensure that there's always an Indigenous voice advising the government and the Parliament about issues that really affect Indigenous people. So when we're designing health systems, education systems, welfare systems, transport systems, criminal justice systems, whenever we're creating laws that are going to have a big impact on Indigenous people, the Indigenous voice, if it's created, if it's enshrined into our Constitution, will ensure that those Indigenous voices are always heard before Parliament makes laws in the way that Parliament has always made laws. Why should we do this? Why should we vote yes in the referendum? Well, firstly, because Indigenous people have asked us to. After nearly a decade of consultation, Indigenous people have come forward and said, this is what we'd like. This would help improve the lives of Indigenous Australians. So voting yes to the referendum is simply saying yes to a good idea that's being asked of us from Indigenous Australians. Another good reason to vote yes is there's lots of evidence that says good consultation leads to good policy. So if we want to have cost-effective, efficient and fair policy in Australia, we should want to have an Indigenous voice making sure the Parliament is aware of the needs and the concerns and the desires and the priorities of Indigenous Australians. So I'll be voting yes on October 14. I hope you do. I think it's a simple way that we can help improve policy and improve the lives of Indigenous Australians and improve the way that we as Australians talk to and think about each other. That's what the invitation from the Uluru Statement of the Heart was about. It was about listening and respect and dialogue. But regardless of how you feel, get out there and vote on October 14. Your voice always matters in a democracy, and a referendum to change our constitution is a really important thing, and everybody's voice needs to be heard.
Authorised by E. Bennett, the Australia Institute, Canberra.